Hello, welcome back to Otter Pop Culture. Today we're going over the Florida-born but LA-based Jake and his second album called The Sun Wakes Up Earlier Now. So I did not get into his last album that was 7 tracks. It came out in 2020. It was called Don't Give Me Problems, Give Me Wine. But I did come across, where I came across him was the same year when he did a song with Dylan, or 2 songs with Dylan Francis called Touch and You Do You, and that's the first time I ever heard of him, and I was like, oh, okay, I like his voice, I like his kind of swag and what he has inside his song, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna start watching you, and I guess I must have missed past the album, or it may came out before I discovered him, but I watched him from then on, and then he released this album, which is, I'm very surprised. I wasn't really sure if he was gonna release an album or not. I knew there were singles coming out, which I was following the singles too, but in my head I wasn't really sure, like, because usually nowadays either you're releasing 2 songs and drop an album, or you release like 10 songs or so, or 5 or so, and then you drop an album. Seems like it's all over the place of when people drop albums and when they don't. So all in all, I'm very glad that he did, and I'm very surprised about this album too, because it's actually really good. Like, not that I was expecting it to be a complete flop, but I wasn't really sure based off of just a couple singles and then a full-on, like, 11-song album, which is, boop, ready to go. So I was like, oh, I wonder what we have to talk about, and he has a lot to talk about. So let me go through some of the songs I like, and also kind of cover the bases of the topics of this song, or this album. So let's get started with the first song, which is more of a shout-out. But this song is an intro that pretty much is all in Spanish. And it pretty much is introducing him to the audience as somebody that's going to take the pain away, and somebody that's a person who will fill your concerns with good wine, awaiting your presence, and introducing BabyJake. So that's a great little intro, and I loved it. And then goes into Do I Fit in Your Shoes? And I love the production in this one. And this one pretty much talks about the idea, just like people don't believe that he's a success or somebody that needs to be watched or anybody that's going to be a star. They kind of see him as like, you're nothing. Whenever he goes to these parties and after parties, like, they're like, you're nothing. I don't really know who you are. And stuff like that, but he says to himself, but remember who you are, take that bullet to the heart, keep going, or keep that train of pushing, mama, I'm a star. Pretty much this whole thing is like, to himself, he says like, I am gonna make it, kind of thing, and no matter what other people say, I know who I am. Going to the next one, Daddy's Coming Home. So one thing I definitely realized from this album is that it touches on a lot of genres, but it touches on, there's something about the way he does it, makes it seem like he's done it forever. And I don't really know his full on like background history, but it just, the way that he mingles with different genres and still gives you really, really interesting like lyrics. It reminds me of country. Maybe he's done country in the past, because his writing is very on that direction, where it's just like, you have a full on beginning, middle, and end story, or you'll have a full-on thing where you're just breaking it down piece by piece by piece, and then with the whole song you get the full gist of it. It's not like the first verse says everything and that's pretty much it, and now he's trying to like add on to it. No, it's like a full-on, like, I'll give you a little piece of this, here's the emotion, here's a little bit of it more, continuing the story, and here's how it ends. Now do you see where everything's coming? And I love that. I feel like Daddy Coming Home is exactly that. Gives you a little bit more of a rock kind of production, and it pretty much talks about how his dad pretty much, apparently killed his mom inside the car, and keeps on coming home with different women, and just has no really issue with it, and is a complete alcoholic, it's a complete shit show. He's a complete asshole. So he ends up, BabyJake ends up killing him and burying him for his mom, pretty much, and just saying like, I did it for you because I always got your back, and he's a complete douche. And I love this one. I love the production. I love the rock production because it throws you off, and you're like, oh wow, you have more. I was thinking it's gonna go more trap or more kind of like stuff that he's usually doing in other features, but yeah, it's like, this one's rock, and I love that. Going into another one I like, which is Funny Thing About Love, featuring Bipolar Sunshine. This one is one of the singles that was towards this album. And this one pretty much talks about the idea of trying to figure out love and why it's so complicated and why it's so weird. And this one is pretty much just like he's trying to, he says, like, use your imagination, I can't do it myself, starting to lose my patience, might get with somebody else, and pretty much just doesn't really know what to do with this person. Doesn't really know how to communicate and how to talk with this person. And he says, "Oh, always pride myself on confidence, but when I'm with you, it's on the fence." So it seems like she changes the way that he thinks, and he's not really liking that. He's not liking how things are getting tested and things are getting kind of moved, or not really as like solid as they should be. But I really like that one. Shout out to My Anxiety. I love the idea that he's breaking down all these things that makes him feel, just question himself the whole time, ending up to his anxiety. Going into the next one, I want to get a shout out to Road Trips. I love that one. I think it's really nice. I love the commitment of just feeling very connected with his partner, and really like it, and they're on the same page. It's really, really good relationship. But the next one, that's when shit gets crazy. This one is called To Boogie, and I love it. It has this little kind of, I don't know, like this jazz. Well, actually, it kicks off after a little jazzy end of Road Trip, and then it goes into this nice little upright bass, a don't kind of thing, and I love that. It's so different from what we usually hear lately, and I think that kind of swing is so nice. I love it. Going into the next one, Glue featuring Lizzy, McAlpine. This one is really, really good because it's surprised me, just like How the Boogie surprised me, just like Daddy's Coming Home surprised me. This one surprised me because it gives you he's now showing you a little more vulnerability. And this song is pretty much talking about the idea of him not seeing this relationship getting any better, and he doesn't want to hold on to his relationship any longer. He wants to move on, but the partner doesn't want to. The partner's like, I am not leaving, or I'm not going to call it off. I'm not going to be the one that does it, blah, blah, blah. Even though it seems, I can't tell if Lizzy is playing the part of the other side, or is she in her own little story, and together they are each partners that want to leave a relationship, but they can't, but the other partner doesn't want to, or the other partner's not making it easier for it to happen. And so you go through stuff like, if Glue don't make things right, I won't sacrifice my time. You won't say goodbye. You won't give it up. And then it goes to her. She's like, if I stay here too long, it's a sacrifice I make. I'd carry it for you. I don't really know if that makes sense, but there's so much I can take. I don't think it's worth the wait. It has this weird kind of slow country sound that I really, really like. I love it. I think it's so good. It's surprising that's on this album. I'm just very pleased with this. Married Man is another one that goes into a different type of sound, and it gives you that kind of sax, and then there's a sax solo. And this one's talking about the idea of a woman who wants to be with a married man, and it goes to a point where it's just like very movie. It's like, she wants to be with a married man. She wants to be just a whore. You wouldn't understand. Every day she'll do anything she can to make herself a perfect 10 out of 10. So being with a married man is not going to do that. But I think that's what he's trying to tell her, and pretty much saying, you want to do all these things. You want to be part of this world of being with this married man and just being this. And it's like, don't judge me. Just let me do me kind of thing. It's like, no, it's not a healthy direction. You're gonna hate yourself trying to compete with this person when literally you're just, if the whole thing, like, it's like Genuine said, if you cheated on me, if I made you cheat on me, I'm all over the place. If you cheated on him, if you cheated for me, you cheated, or if you cheated on him, you know what I mean. It's the same, it's a different song, or not different, is what's so different, and it's pretty much saying, like, if you cheated on him, if you cheated on him, you do it to me. It pretty much in that direction is what he's pretty much saying. It's like, you don't think, but it's on the other side with the guys. Like, you don't think, if you really think that you're the only one for him, the only one he's cheating on with you, he's not. He's cheating on there's other girls he's probably bringing home, or he's also cheating with. This is not a solid, promising direction to be in, pretty much he's saying. Going into watching is kind of like carrying on, but it talks about this idea of this, like, I feel like it's metaphoric because it has this weird kind of bluesy rock direction, and it talks about like this person in a distance that's like watching this woman, and now that her friends have left her to kind of just be out on her own, like he's there to scoop her up. And it's that kind of predatory kind of direction that some men have, and they just like to just it's just disgusting. But I've seen it so many times. But it's one of those things, just like, I think he's talking about that direction, just like kind of giving her a forewarning, like, watch out for this guy kind of thing. I love that sound too, because it sounds different. It's not, I feel like a lot of songs lately, a lot of albums lately, kind of stick to one thing. There's a lot, you're either pop, you're either trap, or you're trying to bring back the rock. And I feel like in this one, he's not trying to bring back anything. He's just trying to do, it seems like he's having fun with different sounds, and that's it. It's not, it feels like, it just feels really great. I love this. I give it a 9 out of 10. Leave a comment below, tell me what you thought. If you know this person, you know BabyJake, let me know some facts and everything. If you're even a bigger fan of him. I'm an official fan of him now, and I love this album. Leave a like, a subscribe, and notification bell too, to get more of my videos if you like this video. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.